welcome to Live in the Solution. I'm your astrologer and tarot card reader, Mary Trimble, here with your readings for March the 2nd through March the 8th. Guys, this is a general reading, so take what resonates and leave the rest. And listen, if you'd like a personal reading, click on this link here. It'll take you to my website so you can see what kind of readings I offer. I do astrological, natal chart readings, and tarot, and sometimes a combination of both. It's also for your sun, moon, and rising. Guys, take what resonates, leave the rest. If something doesn't resonate, check out your rising and your moon sign. Because sometimes these readings have become very specific. Spirit wants to contact someone who needs to hear this. And guys, thank you so much. 3.5K views to my last week's video on you guys. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much for all the comments and likes as well. And I got a lot of subscribers during your video too. So listen, without further ado, let's go to your card. Okay, Cancer. The first card out for you is the Four of Swords. The Four of Swords really is just about being tired and exhausted. It's about, are you getting enough sleep? Are you getting enough rest? Are you hydrating enough? I'm sorry, I'm going to have a drink of my water now. I've said that. Are you hydrating enough? Are you eating right? Are you taking care of yourself? Because when the Four of Swords comes in, it's saying that, you need to really take care of yourself. You're exhausted. And I feel that look, it's so funny. When I was shuffling the cards, and this came up, immediately I thought of the Nine of Swords when this came up. So guess what's clarifying it right after this came up is the Nine of Swords. It's so interesting. So this is about mental exhaustion, which turns into physical exhaustion. This is about the Nine of Swords is about the worst case scenario, right? And it's in your head and it's fantasizing. Now, I'm going to confess, I was in this all on and off most of the week. It was so hard for me to even meditate. It's so funny because I was telling my friend who was also going through this, who was Cancer, because we were looking at Cancer, I do these readings and then I forget what I've done. Because I'm channeling it, so I don't remember them necessarily. But this card, we were saying how we were both going through things and we were in our head and we knew it. And I said, it's so funny because I tell people when they're in the Nine of Swords to come out of it, meditate. I couldn't even meditate at times. I would start to meditate and come out. I would try. I'll tell you, the only thing that really helped me was focusing on something creative. And it's so interesting. I say this again and again. So I changed the format of my videos. I had to set up the cameras differently. I had to do some tests and see if it worked. And on the surface it works. Let's see how long it takes me to edit them in a way I want to do it this week. So I focused on something creative and came up with some ideas. But I was in the Nine of Swords, because sometimes when you don't know about a situation, you don't have all the facts, you don't know what's happening behind the scenes, you end up in this space of worry and fantasizing about what it could be. And then you tend to kind of, you get that gut feeling, the pain in your stomach is going to be the worst case scenario, So my friend and I were like talking to each other all week about this. It was not an easy time, but I will say what alleviated the anxiety for both her and myself was getting involved in our creative projects. And when we started that, our minds just focused on that. And when you are in creativity, when you're creating something, you are channeling source energy. It's, you are, so you're able to come out of the rabbit hole. Because I sunk into this rabbit hole a couple of times this week. It was not cute, I have to tell you. Well, the next card out is the Temperance card. I always feel that the Temperance card is kind of, there's a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. There's a rainbow in the Temperance card, right? And I always feel that when we're balanced, we have to kind of be in reality as well as in on our spiritual path. I really feel this is about being spiritually centered, but I think it's about tempering everything, tempering your emotions. Don't drink too much, don't overeat, don't look at the television too much, don't shop. Listen, stay tuned for the astrological report, which is coming up right after this, because this will make more sense to you of what's happening astrologically that can influence us to kind of overdo things, overindulge in some way or another. But the Temperance card can be don't overthink, right? Actually, another way that I avoided those horrible feelings was like watching too much television last week too, to get me out of my head, But I could have found a little more productive way of doing that. Now, clarifying the Temperance card, there are two cards. There's the Magician, and notice he has the infinity sign right here, infinite possibilities. And you have the Ace of Cups. So the Magician is saying you've got everything you need to create the life that you desire, but you're not feeling it. You're feeling, you're in some kind of fear. And when the Magician comes in, he is saying, look, he can make something spectacular out of seemingly nothing. He just has the 4 elements. That's all we need. 4 elements. That's it. Water, fire, air, and earth, right? That's all we need. That's what we need to create abundance. So it's saying, don't worry, you might not think you have everything, but you do. Perhaps you've got to think outside the box, right? To get to where you need to go. But to me, this is saying, you're not looking at what you have. You're not looking at a way forward with what you have. And you've got to kind of tweak whatever you have or whatever's going on for you to create more. And look, you've got my cup floweth over. The Ace of Cups, new beginnings. This is intuition, psychic ability definitely coming in here for sure. But also like this is an abundance. There's balance here too. I feel that you are on the precipice of change, Cancer, and that things are turning around for you. And perhaps you haven't been seeing it in that way. You've been more in the fear, mired in the fear and the worst case scenario rather than seeing a way out. But it's saying here, darling, Spirit's saying you've got a way out. And look, the next card you have is the 9 of Wands. And this is saying you're kind of really tired of struggling. You know, this is like this person's dogged, they fought, they're fighting all the time, and it's like you want to give up. This is a feeling of wanting to give up. It's like, oh, I can't do this anymore. I'm trying, I'm fighting, I'm treading water. This is that feeling of treading water, and you know, you're like this, you know, you're drowning, and you just want to kind of stop treading water and just sink. It's kind of that. It's like, you know, you're tired of fighting, being on the treadmill, you know, the treadmill of life, the minutiae of life, you know, trying to make ends meet. It's a battle. And you're tired of battling. You've kind of hit the bottom and you really want to go. But the 9 of Wands is saying, darling, don't give up now. You're at number 9. You're nearly at number 10. You've got one. You may have one last fight, Cancer. You know, dust yourself off, pick yourself up, dust yourself off and start all over. You're going to be okay. Get back in there. Maybe you need to lick your wounds. Maybe you need to rejuvenate somehow. You know, like sleep. Eat right. You know, hydrate. Take care of yourself. Don't overdo something. Don't shop. Don't do anything that's going to shoot yourself in the foot. This is like, you know, replenish your energy and rejuvenate and get back in there because you're nearly at the finish line. Things are going to turn around for you. You have to turn them around though, Cancer. This is the thing. Look, the next, you've got 2 cards clarifying the 9. You've 9 of Wands. You've got the King of Swords and the World card, right? Now, the King of Swords, look, he is the champion for justice. He's a karmic card. This is like, look, he's like the calm in the storm. He's a counselor. He's very fair. Keep your side of the street clean. He's going to come down in your favor. You know, this sometimes if there's litigation or if there's an arbitrary decision coming down, you're going to find out, you know, if you've kept your side of the street clean and you've been upfront and your intentions were good, then things are going to come down in your favor. Don't worry. This is, you know, this is karma. As long as you've done the right thing and you're going to be okay. Don't worry. This is going to come down in your favor. And look at this. Right next to it is the World. And the World is saying that you have an opportunity you can be the same as you've always been, or you can change that and go in a different, the universe has your back. Source energy, God has your back. You are not going to fall. You have a new way forward and you will be supported. Now, this can be a new job, a new career, a new area of study. It can be a new way of behaving, of seeing life, of perceiving life, of, you know, going forward. What you would normally do, you're going to, you know, do the antithesis. Look, you can do the same old things and get the same old results, or you can do something completely different. And you will be supported in this change. This can be embarking on your life purpose if you haven't already. This is like a really exciting time for you, Cancer. Don't be in fear, you know. It's easy for me to say, you know, but you can get out of this in creativity, in creating this new life for yourself, right? Because don't forget, you've got the Magician. This is saying that life that you've always wanted is there, but you have to create it. You've got to take the action. You've got to understand that you have everything that you need to create the life that you've always wanted. But, you know, you're probably holding on to the crumbs, like I say to my clients. You're over here picking up the crumbs and you're missing a great big piece of cake over there. You're looking for this, perhaps it's a crappy job that you're trying to get. And really you're missing your life purpose talents that can help humanity and take you further than you can even imagine. Take you on a really incredible journey. Cancer, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for all those views and likes and shares, and stay tuned for the astrological report next. And if you, please don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe if you haven't already. And I love you all, and I'll see you on the other side. Hello, everyone. I'm so glad that you decided to stay on and listen to the astrology report on what is going on in the celestial sky this week. So we start on Tuesday, March the 3rd. Venus is square Saturn. What is that? It's not a harmonious aspect. It is a contentious aspect. There may be distance or detachment within your relationship. You may be feeling that during this transit. As a result, intimacy could take a backstage during this time. And it might be wise to spend some time in solitude, in meditation and reflection, because melancholy and depression can occur. But know that this will pass soon enough. I mean, that's why it's called a transit, right? Because it's transiting, it's moving. So it's a temporary feeling. Now, your finances could take a hit too. So resist the urge to spend because you're not feeling great. Maybe you're feeling melancholy and you want to buy something to make yourself feel better. Resist that urge. I would be very conservative with your finances at the moment. We've seen this play out on the global stage. The financial markets are plummeting because of the coronavirus, because products can't move around. A lot of countries have closed their borders. So just be conservative and with your spending. Now, on March the 4th, 2020, Mercury backtracks into Aquarius. And when I say backtrack, you know that Mercury is in retrograde, right? And it moved from Aquarius into Pisces on February the 3rd. And now it is reversing and going back from Pisces into Aquarius. But the good news is that Mercury goes direct on March the 9th, on the same day as the super full moon in Virgo. And actually, this is interesting because Mercury rules the sign Virgo. So things are going to start to pick up. And Mercury will then move into Pisces a week later on the 16th. So then it's really going to pick up speed. So this is good news, guys. Mercury in Aquarius gives us clarity and focus. But when in Pisces, Mercury expresses its creative side, creative writing, fantasy, poetry, art, and music. However, in Aquarius, Mercury is more innovative, scientific, analytical, and forward-thinking. So we can enjoy that aspect of it until the 16th, when it moves back into Pisces, and then we can enjoy expressing itself creatively. Now, on the same day, a bit later on in the afternoon, 4:24 p.m. precisely, Eastern Standard Time, Mercury is sextile to Venus, and that is a harmonious relationship. So Mercury is in this lovely harmonious transit. Socializing will become easier. In fact, you might be more open to going out and hanging out, and your charisma and magnetism and charm will foster intimacy during that time. So this is a lovely, beautiful energy. So relax, enjoy this cosmic blessing while it lasts. Now, also, Later on that night at 10:07 p.m. precisely, Eastern Standard Time again, so it's the next day in Europe, Venus moves into Taurus. The goddess of love is coming home. She'll be at ease. She'll be more practical. She'll be more affectionate. However, she may be a little possessive, because, Taurus is all about mine, possessions, so Venus is looking for security and in love and in her relationships and finances. So reassure your partner with love and affection and focus on improving your finances. Ask yourself, what needs my attention most right now? Is it my relationship? Is it my finances? Is it both? Now, on Sunday, March the 8th, the Sun is conjunct Neptune. That means that it is together. They're almost like one. So the Sun's energy and Neptune you can hardly tell the difference between the two. They just come together. They become one, right? Now, you may, Neptune is very idealistic, so you may have the urge to want to help the less fortunate or the marginalized around the world. Idealism is front and center during this transit, and your sensitivity to others' energy is really increased. So you really need to protect yourself. You need to be around positive people and situations. So because there's two sides to Neptune. Neptune can take you down the rabbit hole too. So you want to be surrounded yourself with positivity, and perhaps consider doing a media fast. I mean, sometimes your empathy is so enhanced that it can really take a toll on your emotions. So you could feel melancholy or depressed. On the other hand, you might be exhilarated and inspired to help humanity at large. You'll get a lot of joy by volunteering or, with a cause or helping in some way. So, look at where you can help. Ask yourself, how can I contribute to society? Now, also on Sunday at 3:38 p.m., Venus comes together with Uranus. Wow, this can be scandalous. This transit can bring in the urge for, a thrill, for excitement, novelty, the new, constantly looking for something new and exciting in love and finance. So you are ready for a thrill. The energy and magnetism of this transit could have you acting a bit out of character. It's kind of palpable, right? You might be enticed to have a romantic fling or a one-night stand. Perhaps your relationship has been a bit boring or perhaps hit a stagnant patch, and you may feel like you want to explore new horizons or new experiences with other people. I would just say this: keep in mind that this feeling will not last, and you very well might regret the impulsive actions or decisions under this influence. So keep that in mind, guys. Now, on Monday, I'm not going to go into this, but I'm just going to mention it because it is good to be prepared. We have the super full moon in Virgo. A super full moon is when the moon or a planet is very close to Earth. And so this is a very, very strong energy. And Also, Mercury goes direct on the same day. So that's really interesting. Listen, guys, join my astrology group. Live in the Solution. The link will be below. It's a private group, and every 2 weeks I do a live feed which correlates either with the new moon or the full moon. And we look at exactly how you are receiving the energy of the new moon or the full moon, respectively. We have fun. It's a very positive, uplifting, nurturing group. Everyone's happy. It's lovely. So I do that for the group every 2 weeks. So it's a private group. You just have to ask to join, answer a couple of questions, and hey presto, you're in. So guys, I just want to mention that this is a member supported channel. And one way, of course, one way to support me is giving me a thumbs up, liking my videos, sharing them on other social media platforms, and commenting. Shoot me a comment. I love that. I answer every comment. I love interacting with you guys. It really feeds my soul. And another way to support me is join my channel. I now have a membership to the channel. So there's a button that says join, and there are 2 levels of membership, and I give perks. And there's the community tab is where the members hang out. I'm going to do videos designed just for members. So it's it's the lowest membership fee is $1.99 a month. Now, another way to support me is through Patreon, darling. And right here, if you click on this link, you can go to my Patreon page and check it out. You can be a supporter for just $1 a month. It's $12 a year, guys. It's not it's not a lot, but it's huge for me. That all adds up. And I want to take this opportunity to thank my members and to thank my patrons. I've just started the membership, so it's pretty new. So guys, what else? I think that's it. Of course, get a reading, guys. I live to give readings. Go to my website. You can, there's actually links below to my website. Go and check out the kind of readings that I offer and all the services that I offer. Guys, please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. I love you all, and I'll see you next week.